Hey guys, today I'm excited to show you my latest creation, this Bounder RV from Breaking Bad. I recently rewatched the show and was inspired to make this cake. Let's dive right in. Print out a template. You can find this through a Google Images search. Carve the cake to roughly match the template and you should be left with pretty much a rectangle. Then melt some ganache and spread it all over the cake. An offset spatula works best here to evenly distribute the chocolate. Next, we're making the windows by cutting out some black fondant and paint on blinds with white food color. With the thinnest brush you can find, carefully paint parallel lines. To add a bit of wear to the window, I'm adding white and gray luster dust like this. The RV has about 12 windows total, so it took a while for me to complete these, but I think they turned out well. Next, cut out a thin layer of cream modeling chocolate using the template as a stencil. Add the subtle thin stripes, and then cut out sections for the windows. Peel away the window slots and insert the windows we made earlier, just like a jigsaw puzzle piece that perfectly falls into place. Paint on a red line and then add orange as well as yellow. Add the door similar to how we did the windows. Pressing it into place with your modeling tool. Cut out the slots for the tires and then add these details to the side. Some reflectors. Using strips of burgundy for the window trim. I'm actually using a different technique with this RV by making each panel separately and then attaching them to the cake. Since the RV is boxy and the sides are flat, this technique works out well. Okay, now roll out modeling chocolate and cover the top of the cake, rounding off the front edges. Attach the side and it should easily stick to the ganache. Press it into place when the position looks correct. Trim off the edges with scissors. Again, remove any excess. Add the back panel. And back window. Here, I'm adding texture to white fondant. This is to replicate the metal section of the RV. Paint it with silver luster dust and then add the back bumper. The roof also has a sheet of steel, so add a layer of white fondant and then add the texture. Brush on silver luster dust, and it'll take several layers before the fondant gets this shiny. Add the front grille and windshield. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad yet, I highly recommend watching it ASAP. Everything from the transformation of the characters to the plot makes the show a true masterpiece. Even after watching it 10 years later, I still consider it one of the best. Moving along, apply round strips of white for the awning pole and assemble the ladder like this. Set the ladder aside to dry and firm up. Round off the end with anything round. Here I'm using a plastic tube. For the awning, roll gray fondant, place this onto the RV. Carefully add the ladder and adjust it accordingly. I printed the Bounder logo onto rice paper and place it onto the back of the RV. For any detailed logos or design that are difficult to replicate, I recommend printing on rice paper instead. I have a couple detailed videos on making fondant tires, so you can check them out for a more in-depth tutorial. You just need to have round cutters in many different sizes. I'm cutting circles out with the piping tip here. The back rims are concave, so lightly press it in, and the front are the opposite. Paint with silver dust. And of course, we have to make the lawn chairs. Weave together orange and white fondant, pushing them into place and then cut to form a square. Do the same with blue fondant. And to form the chair, roll out strips of black, wrapping it around the orange chair and glue into place. Lean this against a flat vertical object to dry. Once dry, add the legs and arms. Here, I'm making a yellow barrel. Walter's khaki trousers. Add a thin strip of black for his belt. And I also made a cute hanger to hold his pants. The desert plants are simple. Grab a blob of green fondant and cut out pointy leaves. The cake board is covered in vanilla cake crumbs. Don't forget the bullet holes on the door. I ended up covering these holes with gray fondant for duct tape, and you'll see this in the finished cake. Lastly, using cinnamon, gray, and green luster dust, I'm adding wear to the RV. Because we know the RV was already beat up and old when purchased on the show, plus it spends much of its time in the desert too. Place the lawn chair and yellow chemical barrel. And voila! Finally completed this Breaking Bad RV cake. I love how it turned out, and I'm really happy I spent the extra time on the details. Let me know in the comments what you think of this cake. I hope I did it justice, and as always, please like and subscribe for more cake tutorials. As I was cutting into the cake, it dawned on me I should have used food coloring to make the layers blue. Definitely something I recommend if anyone makes a similar cake. Thanks for watching. See ya!